hairiness of a body is something that can be easily taken care of. It's a lot easier to do a waxing or a hair laser removal, or even just like you said, just like a buzz in the certain areas where you're growing unwanted hair. That's a lot easier than losing 20 pounds.
Yes.
Right. And both are going to make you look better on the beach, but take the easy route if you're going to just do one of the two.
But how much hair is too much?
Well, it depends on where you're talking.
Yeah.
So on the back, if you're having, we've all seen the 40-year-old virgin,
Yes.
Hairy backs. And, then there's just the slightly patchy hair, like sounds like you might have been taken care of. I think whenever there's hair in unintentional places, like it can go. And it can go in a lot of different ways. So it doesn't have to be waxed, although waxing is nice and it, every 6 weeks, and it's not as painful as maybe you might imagine. And it gets easier. Laser hair removal is permanent after like 6 times. You go like once a month and then it's pretty much gone. You might do touch-ups.
So if you got a problem area, laser hair removal after multiple treatments, it goes away forever.
Almost, like 90%.
Okay.
Yeah. I had my legs done and underarms and whatnot. I don't know, when I first opened the salons 20 years ago. So I barely even have to shave, but just a little bit. But it does slowly come back. So I can't say it's completely gone. But, even like you said, just using a trimmer to trim it down if you have longer hair. And I think people too, like in their arms and their chest, it's like a chia pet for some people.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take much to trim. And I think just having a little intention around your grooming, I'm sure most of your listeners appreciate their partners taking effort and time and looking their best. And they would appreciate that in their partner as well. So, just taking that clipper and trimming things down.
Yes.
Removing it permanently if you have the means.
So where's the biggest area of concern then? The back, the over hairy back?
Imagine do you like back rubs?
Yes.
Okay. Well, who doesn't for most part, right? But can you imagine rubbing a hairy back?
Yeah, I don't want that.
No. It's just still weird on your hands, right?
Yeah.
And then you got lotion in there and So like if you want your partner to be touching you like that, shave your back.
Yeah.
Or do the other things, wax it or whatever. But so I would say back would be the number one thing. And that comes in, some people just have it over on their shoulder. Some people have the lower back, but just like get rid of whatever hairs on your back and on your neck. And then neck is another thing. So we offer free neck trims at Hair M because so many guys, they, for whatever reason, can't really get back there that well without having the right mirror in their bathroom.
It's very difficult to get back there to see what's going on with
it. If they don't have a partner to do it for them, they, because having that hairline over your collar does not look good.
No.
So making sure that's taken care of. And that actually can be waxed or lasered as well. Now, if you have gray hair coming in already, then it's too late. You can wax, but you can't laser gray hair, unfortunately. So anyone that's pre-graying that might be thinking about that now if they want to be doing that.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the neck trim is important as well. Now, what about the chest? How much hair is too much on the chest?
So I was talking to my girlfriend and her husband about this. So he's a trimmer with a clipper. So he keeps it very short, like not even 1/8 of an inch.
Does she like that? Keeping it nice and tight?
Yeah, she likes that because he would probably be one that would grow, an inch or more, right? So I agree. I think that's good look. Some people like to have it shaved. I mean, if you shave, the thing is it grows out like your 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of maintenance, first of all, to have to keep that up. And I don't know if you've ever laid next to like a Brillo pad or something.
Yeah, it can be prickly. It can be prickly.
So if we're trying to encourage our partners to be touching us and cuddling with us and, having more intimate touch, then make yourself feel like somebody wants to touch.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're right, because when hair starts to grow out, it gets prickly, and it's not comfortable
like in a
to
day,
touch.
right?
Yeah, because I have to shave, the full body shave. I do it once or twice a week. Now, again, I'm not in a position where someone's going to be touching me, so I'm not worried about the prickliness. But yeah, it requires regular maintenance. I've gotten it down now pretty pat where I can do it quickly. So when I shave and take care of it, it doesn't take too much time. But it's like anything else. Once you get in the habit of it, you're fine. But I think what happened for me is I was scarred because I worked many years in a health club when I was younger, going through college. And so I saw all sorts of different guys in the locker room and all the different hair they had to offer. And I was like, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to be like that. I saw all the things I don't want to be when I get older.
Well, I have a story. My brother went through puberty pretty early. And so when he was in 8th grade, he had a full beard. He had already dropped his Adam's apple, had a deep voice, and he had hairy legs. in the 8th grade.
Wow.
So he got made fun of, and he shaved a strip of his calf. He was just feeling very self-conscious about his hairy legs. He shaved the strip, and then he thought, well, I shouldn't do that. And it never grew back.
It never grew back.
It never grew back.
So he's still got that strip?
Yeah, and then from wearing like tube socks when he was like in, high school and stuff, it further kind of removed some of that hair. But yeah, it's kind of a random thing.
All right, so if you don't groom, or let's say you have, hair or patchy hair or some on your back or whatever the case may be, like you were talking about, some people won't be honest, or they have a hard time mentioning like, hey, why don't you do something about that? Like, what goes to a lady's mind when they see that kind of stuff? Like
Well, so I had a serious relationship, and he was a beautiful man, and he took care of himself. But for whatever reason, he didn't think twice about he had hair in the crack of his butt. I mean, like not like where you see it from behind, not, like bending over. So, so all the cracks and crevices can be tended to. But, it's just something I was not going to hurt his feelings and be like, hey, let's take care of that.
Yeah. You got a hairy butt crack. We need to solve that issue.
So so I think I'm just here to like shed some light. Like maybe that would be a good thing to do for your partner,
because that's
future
something
partner.
Your partner, your future partner, that's something they could notice that they don't like, but they're not going to mention something because it's a delicate subject, but it's something that's on their mind.
And it might be something too that might be, I'll throw it there on the table, is have a game with your partner and be like, hey, let's each throw out one thing. If there was one thing about the way we each look, what would be one thing that you would be happy if I changed, and reciprocate it with your partner also giving that information about you.
Where's the biggest concern for ladies as they continue to age? Like, where's the unwanted hair for ladies?
Oh, God. Well, everyone, men and women, should have a magnified light. And so probably a lot of your listeners, wives or partners do, because you will be shocked at what you see. Have you ever looked at one?
I think I have, yes. And I was shocked at what I saw.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And the reality is, if you're out in light, in certain light especially, and somebody's close to you, they're going to see some of what you would see in that light, but you don't normally see in your own reflection in a mirror. So it's a really good idea to like know what that looks like. So that could be, because men tend to get the nose hair and the ear hair, which sounds like in the top of the ear.
Yeah. Right up in this area.
Yeah. So it's good that you're taking care of that, and the eyebrows maybe are growing too much. Women tend to get it, on their chin and their neck and random places. Men also, I think more so than women, get it on their hands and their knuckles. Yeah, their hands or their toes, really hairy toes or whatever. But I could see why that'd be disturbing for a female too. If you get like, if you got hair like on your upper lip or mustache. Yeah,
or you get like chin hairs or whatever, like that would freak me out. I wouldn't want that. But do you guys get patches on your back at all, or lower back or anything like that? Or is that rare? No, I don't think so. What about ear? I don't think so. Not like men. You've got us beat in the unwanted hair department. We do. We do. But what can you do? So if you're a guy, is this something you can talk about with a stylist at Hair M? Or like when it comes to, if you have unwanted hair, but you're not really sure to go about how to start taking care of that, like what do you do? Well, I think looking at what your options are, I mean, there's not a ton of options. So we went through what they were pretty much. I mean, there's not a whole lot more than that. You can shave it yourself. Yeah. You can use waxing, or you can go with the laser treatment. Now, waxing, because I know what a lot of guys think. They're like, I'm not going to get waxed. That sounds ridiculous. But the process, I've done it before. It's not, it doesn't hurt as bad as the movies make it look like it does. But the process I found to be quite simple. Yeah, it's very quick. Like if it is painful, it doesn't last long. And then the more you do it, the less painful it is because the hair's thinner at the follicle. So if you keep it up, basically. And most people are doing it more in the summer, and you have to do it like a week in advance. So I just want to throw that out. Somebody has a last minute idea before they're flying out for spring break. Yeah. Give it a week. And that goes for laser too, before you get in front of the sun. I was going to ask you about the eyebrows. Do you recommend guys as they get older wax their eyebrows or keep them trim? What's the best process there? So, because I think I have less eyebrows today than I did when I was younger. Oh, okay. So I'll tell you something about that. The thing with waxing eyebrows is women, if you look at women, and a lot of women are paying a lot of money for eyebrows nowadays, yes, and then doing the microblading, and they do the dyeing and, of course, the waxing and shaping. Men don't want to look like that, right? You don't want to look like you had work done. Yes. But if you have eyebrows that are, of course, a unibrow, as we all know, one brow across your forehead,
you need to take care of that. And that's a super easy thing. You could even get your own wax, hard wax, and do it at home. Yeah. That's an easy thing to do on your own. There are some people, my brother would be one of those people who just has some crazy eyebrows. So having your barber trim them. But as far as waxing like the arch and things like that, I would not encourage men to do that unless they're wanting to have a more feminine